Hello you funky mofos, how the bloody gorblimey governor are you? Are you well? Good to see you. Introduce myself while I take my glasses off. You know me, I'm your ever friendly neighbourhood leggy bloke, and I'm here to do a beer review for you. This should be really interesting, this, for the people that know me quite well and have been following me for a couple of years. Will know I'm not into dark beers or stouts or any type of beer like that. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. This is the Jet Black Heart from Brewdog. So we're going to do this in the usual fashion, fellas, and I look forward to your comments below on the sort of faces that I'll be pulling, no doubt, during this review. But in the meantime, let's read what's on the back of the bottle. If I can. Even with my glasses on, I'm struggling. This black-hearted beast is chopped, turned, and ready to roll. A smooth talking renegade to ravage your senses. Now the trouble I'm having reading this is not because I'm blind. Well, I am blind. That's why I wear glasses. But it's quite dark out here in the conservatory. There's minimal light. And they've printed black. I don't know if you can see it there on the label. They've printed black over purple. So it's quite difficult to read, which doesn't help. Brewdog, sort it out. Jack Black Heart. Jet Black Heart. I'm not saying Jack Black. He's that bloke in the School of Rock, isn't he? Jet Black Heart is a milk stout with a ebony tone. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even going to read anymore because it's difficult to read what's going on. Read it yourself. There you go. Have a quick read. Run for. Now, I'm not into stouts or dark beers, but I am going into this with an open, as much as I can, an open point of view. So this is going to be fun. So I'm going to give it a little open. I'm going to pour it into this glass here. It's quite dark, isn't it? I mean, I like milk. So, you know, it's quite surprising that I don't like these beers. But it's the bitterness I have a problem with, boys and girls. You know, it's not necessarily the fact that it's dark malts or anything like that. It's really the heavily bittered beers that I struggle with, and I just have a problem with it. I can't help it. But I am trying. At least I'm trying. At least I'm giving it a go, eh? So here it is. Now already, before I even go into it, already there's that roasted dark malt. Really, really, you can smell it. It's completely bitter smell, you know, that I'm not a massive fan of. Now, I must emphasise, as I have done in all of my other, I don't need my glasses now, do I? In all my other videos, whenever I taste a beer, it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean the beer's crap, doesn't mean the beer's good. It's just my interpretation of what the beer is to me and nobody else. Okay? You might try it and like it. Similarly, if I like a beer, you might try it and hate it. Which is why beer reviews are kind of pointless. But you know, it's a good way to catch up and have fun with your mates, isn't it? So, and of course you can watch me make a complete tit of myself by drinking a beer that I can't stand. I did it once on a broadcast. That was fun. So I'm going in, fellas. I'm building up to it. I'm going in. Open mind, all right? Open mind. God help me. is bitter. But it's quite smooth too. It really isn't my cup of tea or coffee. It's getting roasted sort of coffee kind of flavours in there. And I hate coffee, boys and girls. But it's not awful. You know, it's not awful. Trying to be open-minded about it. What can I say about it? I have tried stouts. That tastes a lot worse than this. This, although it's bitter, is very smooth, and it doesn't make the muscles in my neck do that like a turtle, you know, when you go, oh, that's horrible. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just thought I'd sing for you. So, from the get-go, this is not for me. It's not my type of beer. I wouldn't go into a pub and order a stout. Stouts are not my thing. However, I completely respect other people's opinions, and everyone has got their own tastes. My tastes don't lean enough into the bitter beers for me to say that this is a good beer, okay? But what I can say about it is it's not horrible. I'm really not into stouts, as I said. So drinking this, I thought, might be a problem for me, and I might be doing that and pulling faces. I've had a lot worse stouts in my time. So I suppose, in that respect, as someone who isn't a stout drinker, that is a positive review of sorts. If you like stouts, you're probably going to like this. It is very smooth, and I don't really know what else I can say about it. It's smooth and bitter, and it's, you know, I can still taste it. That's my problem, is the taste hangs around for quite a while when you have the really bitter beers, and they don't go away. The taste just stays there, you know, and some people may like that. However, I don't. So if I have to score it out of 10, the Jet Black the Jet Black Heart from Brewdog. See, it's interrupting with my speech now because it's too bitter. There we go. I'd give it, and this is unfair, I know, because as I say, I don't like stouts. I'd give it probably a 5.5 out of 10. It's not the worst one I've had, certainly not the worst stout I've had, certainly not the most bitter stout I've had. It is quite smooth, but the bitterness is there. The dark roasted malts is just too much for my palate. However, as I say, if you like stouts, then, you know, this might be the thing for you. But it was worth watching, boys and girls, wasn't it? Just to see my face, in the hope that I might go, switch the camera off and go and throw up in the corner. But I didn't do that, so there's always a positive, isn't there? Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found that amusing. Try some Brewdog beers if you haven't already tried them. Go out. They're really interesting beers, fellas. They do, you know, from the lighter end of the scale when it comes to beers, all the way down to the darker end. With the really bitter beers, and I think the good thing about Brewdog is there's always something in their range for everyone. It's not just a bog standard range of beers that all taste the same. You know, some breweries will release a red ale, you know, an IPA, a light ale, a pale ale, and they, you know, you line them up in a row and you taste them and they all taste the same. It's just been rebadged into the same beer basically with a slight tweak, and you can't tell the difference. The good thing about the Brewdog beers is that every single beer is completely different from the previous one that you've tried. So that's the best I can say about it, fellas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da!